Hello, welcome to the video on solving one-step equations. This is our second example set B. And of course, I hope you had a chance to watch the lesson and the previous example set. And if you did, you know that we're focused in on using inverse operations to solve these basic one-step equations. So let's go ahead and tackle these equations. And of course, we want to always show all of our work. So our first one is 2x equals 14. Now, what does that mean, 2x? All right, well, that means multiplication. All right, so that means 2 times x. So if I want to get the x by itself, I have to use the inverse operation when I see multiplication. So that's going to be division, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides of the equation by 2, okay? And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to get x by itself. I want to isolate the variable. So if I divide the left-hand side of the equation by 2, I also have to divide the right-hand side of the equation by 2, okay? And when I do that, I get 2x divided by 2, and that's going to be equal to 1x. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I got my x there. And I'm going to get 14 divided by 2, and that is 7. Okay, so 1x equals 7 is the same thing as x equals 7, and that's it. But the concept here, this is the big concept that I want you to get. We saw that what we had going on here next to the variable was multiplication. So we used division to solve our equation, okay? Remember, division is the inverse operation to multiplication. And that's the big picture that I want you to see, okay? All right, so let's move on to our next problem here. So I have negative 3x equals 18. Okay, once again, this is negative 3 times x equals 18. So to get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by negative 3. Now, for whatever reason, a lot of students like to just divide both sides of the equation by 3. Okay, they think that, well, they don't really need the sign, they just need the number. That's not the case. So if you made that error, don't beat yourself up too bad. A lot of students do that initially. Okay, you also have to use the sign, okay? And we'll see here in a second, all right? So we want to divide both sides of the equation by negative 3, okay? Now, let's see why we had to do that, okay? Because negative 3 divided by negative 3 is a positive 1. That's what we want. We want positive 1. If we just use 3, well, we got a negative 1. So this is going to be positive 1x, okay, or x, and that's going to be equal to 18 divided by negative 3, which of course is negative 6. All right, so just a reminder, if you're struggling with these positive negative numbers, if you're still questioning, well, let's see, a negative divided by negative is if you're kind of guessing at that, then you're probably still pretty weak, and that's going to come up over and over again when you're solving equations. So you want to go back and review and really make sure you're strong in that area. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to our next two problems. So here